What's up, SmackNPie here, back again with another Walking Dead video. Now this one is gonna be a little bit different than we usually do on the channel. Less editing, not let's editing. And today basically it's just me saying or giving my opinions and thoughts regarding something that one of our good friends, Dekon, on his channel talked about a few weeks ago. And that is Clementine House, or alternative ending that we didn't get to see, or alternative cut content that we were supposed to get but we didn't got in the final season, episode 4. Now, before we begin, I want to give shout out to 3 people. Of course, Dekon, of course, InColdBlood, and ZombieAli, of course, because originally we found leaks through their channel, and that is why one of the main reasons our channel blew up back then, because of the leaks. So today we're just gonna go back a little bit and see a little bit of history. Now, I don't know about you, but if you've been with this channel from a while now, you might have seen our popular videos because of leaks. And in one of those leaks we showed some game files, some textures that were supposed to be for ending of the final season, and we predicted back then that the ending will consist of Clementine and Lee and Clementine's house and a flashback or something like that. But then unfortunately Telltale went bankrupt, and they of course didn't get the full budget that they supposed to get, and Skybound Games took over. Budget was lacking, there wasn't enough time in between, so they had to do whatever they had to do and cut a lot of content. And we've made a video on episode 4 and 3 specifically on things you didn't get to see, things that were planned but didn't get full development because of budget or time issues or whatever the case is. But in Dekon's video, he showed those 3 pictures, those 3 textures that were found out through game files that we've showed on our channel, and we said that this will come in episode 4. This will be a flashback, mainly flashback because of black and white texture. And also we said that we will go back to Clementine's house. Now that will either be after Clementine's death, or we'll wake up there, or that will be either flashback or whatever the case is. But it was a huge possibility of them going back. Now what do I believe on this? I believe personally that that was actual plan. First, you remember in episode 3 we met Lee, and he said at the end of that dream or flashback or whatever that come back to see me when you get them out.
Come see me again when you've gotten them out, okay? Out and safe.
And we were successful in that mission, but we didn't get the Lee flashback or dream. Now that was kinda concerning, because here Kent Muddle, the creative director, covered it up by saying that it was flashback or dream that was between Clementine and Lee, not player. Players don't have to see that all the time. But why would you put that line in there if you don't want us, the players, to get involved in the first place? That was kinda skeptical to me in the first place, and I said that seeing Lee again one final time is a mega important stuff that needs to happen in episode 4. I said that countless times, that Lee needs to be in episode 4. It is the final episode of Clementine's story. What are you talking about? And then we didn't get to see Lee at all, and I was like,
okay, was that supposed to be a thing?
and we get more knowledge of what actually happened. Ian from Skybound also said that there were some budget issues. He didn't say it explicitly, but we found out that there were budget issues. They had a lot of big plans for ranch, Carol Ranch. They made a lot of playing area that we didn't get to see, but it was in the models that was made, but we didn't get to see for obvious reasons. And then we also have these textures that were in the game files, and they had plans, but they cut it out either due to the budget or time issues or whatever. But then in InColdBlood, through Dekon's video, I saw that video and I was like, okay, that's kind of skeptical. InColdBlood pointed out that in the definitive series that will have all 4 seasons, the collectibles, whatever, in the back of that wallpaper you can see Clementine's house, burned house this time, and that is quite similar to original Clementine's house from season 1. Now that kind of hit me hard, because we know that Clementine's house or Clementine house content was cut, and it was originally planned because it was found from game files. Whatever the case was, they didn't end up making it full thing, that couldn't make it into the final product, but it was in game files. I'm stressing the heck out of this because it is an important piece of information as we're moving forward. So what are we trying to reach here? The point that I'm trying to make think is that why is that all of a sudden, once episode 4 or the final season is over, we're seeing a lot of Lee and Clementine references being together. Why are we seeing that just after the final season is over, when they had the perfect opportunity to mention Lee or show Lee once again, now they're providing more. I mean, you could say that they have season 1, 2, 3, 4 in there, so of course Lee is the important character in the entire franchise. But what I'm trying to say here is that, is there a possibility of we finally getting the alternative ending that we were supposed to get in the final season? Now, I'm not saying that it would happen, but there is a possibility of that being a thing. Now, you see, the thing is, there's not enough time, or there's not enough budget to do that. I mean, how are they gonna fit in there? But that does not mean that they should not address it. So here's my take on this. This is how they should do it. They have two paths from here. Number one, they make a director's commentary, a director's cut version of what the original ending should have been, and you have creative director Kent Muddle or other writers being there in that video, showing some sort of graphics that was not completely made, and then you have Kent Muddle explaining that this was his original idea, but that didn't get to the full picture product because of budget or time. And then you have path 2, which is interesting. Now, this is not FNAF, but keep going with me. This is how they should do it, and it would honestly make it so worth it. They should make all of the gameplay content that they have in this definitive series, season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4, or even if they have DLCs, make players play all of that. After completing all of the seasons and DLCs, players finally get 100%, of course, after collecting collectibles in all episodes, players finally get 100% gameplay finished section, and once players finish that 100% completed section, they unlock a menu screen within whatever extras, if they have extras to begin with. If they do, that is a perfect opportunity, because when they click on extras, they can unlock an option, and that would give you another window to some deleted stuff or cut content or whatever the case they want to go with. In there, they can finally show Clementine's house. They don't have to explicitly make gameplay or 3D animations or whatever. They can just put pictures in there. They can just add commentary over that. They can just put a reference in there, and that would still work. But if they make this sort of stuff in this definitive series, trust me when I say this, it would make this entire definitive series, which, trust me, is not that worth it if you ask me. It's just my personal opinion. If you buy it, if you think it's worth it, absolutely go for it. But for me personally, I prefer original gameplay visuals over the new remastered versions. I had this mentality ever since we had the term remastered, ever since. Regardless of how good they recreate that environment, atmosphere, they cannot recreate that experience that we've had the first time we played the original. But I think this is a bit too harsh on my section. Obviously, it is harsh, but there's a lot of possibilities of them going this route. I can't personally see this happening. None of that. I know that they're not even gonna touch this subject. I know they're gonna pretend that nothing's happened. They're gonna be like, well, this was original plan to begin with, and here we are. There's nothing to worry about, my friend. This was original plan. This is the ending that you got. There's no ifs, no buts, none of that good stuff. But that was just my opinion. That is just me rambling about stuff, and I want to hear or see what you guys have to say about this. Do you think that there was a cut content regarding Clementine's house? There was an alternative ending? Because I personally feel like yes, there was. One final thing I want to add. You might be thinking, okay, Smack, if there was Clementine's house flashback dream with Lee, where would you fit in the gameplay of episode 4? Where would you fit that? Here's my take. Right after Clementine or AJ cut Clementine's leg, we got Ranch, McCarroll Ranch. And that was kind of fitting, alright? But you didn't have to put McCarroll and Ranch there. I mean, obviously it was a transition from Clementine to AJ, and it fits there perfectly. But if you swap that after AJ cut Clementine's leg, and you put Clementine, from black screen to Clementine house with Lee there, you see where I'm going with this, you feel me? And if you do that, my boy, that is the perfect opportunity that was missed, in my personal opinion. I would have preferred Lee's flashback or dream or McCarroll Ranch flashback. McCarroll Ranch flashback should have been before that, when AJ got hurt or kidnapped or whatever. They could have planned this along. I'm not a writer, I'm not a director. What are you talking about? What are you asking me? I'm just a player. But this is how I should have done things. And this is how I would want things to be. But of course, it's done, it's over in the past. I'm just expecting too much here. I'm just expecting too much from something that is already done, from something that cannot be extended, and even if they do that, I can't see it happening. But anything is possible in this world, especially in gaming industry, especially in times like 2019, especially in times like Fortnite and Minecraft being revived. I don't know what was that, I was cringe. But that would do it for this small clip from a podcast that'll never going to get released online because of reasons. But I want to do more of these. I want to just sit and talk about past, history, future, stuff like that, gaming, because I feel like that would give me more creative chance to do more stuff for the channel. But that would do it for this video. I know I said this 3 times now. Let me know your thoughts regarding this and anything, really anything at all, and we'll see you soon. Until then, take care and peace.